Hello, everybody. It's Audacious Monday or Tuesday if you're across the world. And my name is Jennifer Cramer Lewis. And one of the things that I've noticed about me is that I'm always willing to ask for way more than my fair share of everything. I'm always willing to ask for an upgrade. I'm willing to be cheeky and flirt my way out of a speeding ticket. And what else is possible for you? And one of the reasons why I created the Audacious Ask is I noticed that people were doing all of this at least thinking, like, at least I have enough money to pay my rent. At least I have a place to live. At least. And what happens when we start to think at least is we start to create for at least. And what I would love to invite you to is asking, is this an audacious choice for me? And so we go live every Monday or Tuesday wherever you are in the world. And we've really started to create some miracles. We have people whose businesses have been dormant for years who are taking off and jetting around the world. People who had chronic pain in their body, who can't even remember that they had chronic pain in their body. People who were feeling just not very good. Really starting to make audacious choices and step out of this at least thinking. And so I'm going to ask you, what is your audacious ask? And we use the tools of something called Access Consciousness, as well as some other modalities that I've been trained in. And how does it get any better? So I wonder what people will do and what they will ask today on Audacious. So the first person who was on bright and early is Jane. Jane, what's your audacious ask?
Well, when you say about the body pain, I just went, it can flow on because for all the years that I've known my husband, he's been in chronic pain and he isn't anymore. So, and he doesn't do the work. I do all the clearings. I'm the one who does all the clearings. But anyway.
Yeah. I call those monkeys the hitchhikers of consciousness.
That so he is totally.
In the house starts to ask more audaciously, starts to open up their frequency, starts to live a light, bright, effervescent life. Then everyone in the house can either choose to come along with that, or unfortunately, sometimes they start to exit out of that person's life because they're really committed to the trauma and drama. So that's pretty amazing. Sounds like, no, I'm having what she's having. Yeah, it's fantastic. And it just occurred to me when you said that, and I went, oh, how interesting. And my 16-plus-year-old dog is behaving like a puppy. So what can I say? Oh my God. How does it get any better than that? That's so awesome.
He tried to run away from me the other day. It was great. I loved her.
That's so fun. I love it. So
what am I going to ask them?
Ask me, Jane.
I've been having some wonderful experiences with my here-ness. And I'm just wondering, because it's really fun. Instead of doing, am I muted? No. Instead of working on money, I've been working on being here. Well, not working, just being here, and money just keeps arriving.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it.
So I'm just wondering how I can. It's sort of like it's a little bit miraculous, and it's not huge amounts of money, but it's a trickle that wasn't there before. And my audacious ask is, it's because I go into my agendas at that point.
You're the only one who would ever go into their agendas.
I know. And so so up comes my agenda about, if I'm more here, how much bigger can the money trickles be? You see? And so, and then I know I squash it to death.
Right. I don't know that everybody knows that. So that's a really cool awareness that you're having, Jane. So when something wonderful happens and you notice it and you acknowledge it, the energy expands And when you can connect it to the asks that you've been asking, the energy expands. But when you try to like define it or get it into a spreadsheet or, put it into your QuickBooks, the energy goes.
That's me. So what my audacious ask is, what's it going to take for me to just stay in that beautiful present place, which is part of the walking, by the way, which is lovely. I've noticed that too. But how do I stay there and not have all that expectation of what being present is going to bring me?
Yeah. So you remember the last time we talked about having like basically like a gratitude altar instead of an evidence locker?
Yeah. I don't think I was on that one, but I do know what you're talking about.
It was you and I, actually. So,
was it?
Yeah, scroll back. It was definitely you and me talking about that. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I'll just take you to what I had suggested was that, we've been given the information from this reality and, sort of the training that we need to find the evidence that we're not doing something properly so that we can flip it into something we're doing properly. And so that never actually works because you're going back in time to find something that you're doing wrong to adjust it so that you can go forward in time. Okay.
Yeah.
So everything that is everywhere you've been trained to go back in time to adjust time so that you can be better in the future. Will you just try to create it all?
Yes.
Times of Godzilla, good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine, boys, shorts, and beyonds. So gratitude is the rocket fuel of this reality. So when you find yourself, it's almost like NLP, like you can tap I know you know about tapping and NLP. So when you notice that you're going into the computations and calculations of money, you could tap yourself out of it and also play with the access tools. It's like, cool. Like, what is this? Oh, I'm going into the computations of calculations with money. Okay, so what can I do with this? Well, you've got your tapping, you've got your access consciousness tools. You do know a lot of different things. So you can probably outcreate any of this in about 5 seconds flat. You're a master creator. I know that about you. So just imagine, like, you're tapping, you're like, okay, cool. I'm going through a place where I actually don't believe in my own power. Wow, what do I do with that? Oh, I can either spiral down or rocket ship away from this. What do I choose? Okay, I choose to rocket ship away from it. What questions can I ask myself? Oh, I can ask myself, how does it get any better than this? 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 And then from the state of gratitude, like, hey, Stan, look at what's going on with our financial situation. Are we not master creators or what? High five. And, do a little happy dance about being a master creator. I have been, like, my business has just been going. And so a lot of that has to do with the willingness to start to include other people in my business. So what would it be like, I know that you did do some work with some other people who were creating on the financial side, and that didn't actually work for you. But what would it be like to, I know you show up on Audacious, so we're part of your team, Team Jane. We really want you to, succeed. Like, I'm super excited to hear about all your adventures. And I know that, you really have some awesome buddies that really want you to succeed. What would it be like if you had 10 times more people in your life who were definitely succeeding and wanting you to have more?
I like that.
Yeah, and anything that doesn't allow that, will you just try to create it?
Yeah.
Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine, boys, shorts, beyonds. Nice. Yeah. is definitely about the people that you surround yourself with, and actually the proximity. Like my buddy Corey Michelle is here. She's been a week with me in the Okanagan, and she's a hard freaking worker. I thought I was a hard worker. You try having Corey at your house. And plus she's in a different time zone, right? So she's up in her little tower bedroom and, you know, ticking away on her computer in the middle of the night. And, you know, it's just pretty cool to be surrounded by people who are master creators rather than you being the only master creator in your life. What would it be like if there were tons of them?
Yeah.
And you could be like, hey, I'm having that. Yeah. And not from a space of competition, from a space of leapfrogging.
Yeah.
So anything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. So I can feel a sense of, oh, I tried that in the past, and we're assholes.
Yep.
Okay. So actually, are you smarter now?
Oh yeah, much smarter. Much smarter.
Okay. Everybody who has tried to, you know, have a little tribe of people who are empowering people and accidentally ran into assholes, because that's never happened to me before. Will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Good and bad, right and wrong, pod and puck, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. And so everywhere we fight stuff, we end up having these things called implants or explants. So the explants are stuff that shows up in our energetic field, and the implants are stuff that show up in our body. And it's almost like a little pill, a little poison pill that's inside your body, holding it in place that you can't have, you know, girlfriends or man friends that, you know, have your back, who, you know, love it when you succeed, who, you know, if they get like kind of a little twist in their world that you have more than they have, or you're creating faster than they are, they use it as rocket fuel for them to create more rather than making you wrong for being audacious.
Yeah.
So everything it's bringing up for everybody who's listening, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Good and bad, right and wrong, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. Okay, so let's just do a little energy pull here for Jane. So take a big breath, Jane. And nobody else do it too.
No, what am I doing?
So we're going to do it a little energy pull together. So imagine that you have a little ball in front of you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so put the contributory energies of like having, I know you have two really amazing girlfriends that I can think of, and I'm sure you probably have more. Just the energy of community of people who are really inspiring each other to create more on this planet. Like whatever it is, whether it's art, whether it's beauty, whether it's industry, whether it's, you know, having fun with our bodies, you know, getting out and exercising, hiking, you know, enjoying nature, you know, just creating, you know, business outside of the box. Just so many different things are coming up for me to add into my ball, but you just start putting stuff into your ball, and then add the energy of having like a really vibrant, healthy, switched on body. And everywhere, you know, you think, oh, well, you know, I'm this age, I can't have a vibrant, switched on body, you know, which I know you don't buy, but anybody else on the call who's buying that. And then have the energy of having a beautiful home that contributes to you. Put the energy of always having, you know, at least $10,000 just in your current account, you know, and then quite possibly more than $100,000 in your regular old savings account. And maybe having $1 million or $2 million in your investments. And, you know, just allow that to permeate your whole reality, that, you know, money has your back, finance has your back. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. And then check into the energies of the universe. Like, what else is out there that could possibly be contributing to you? You know, like, are there little sprites and fairies and, you know, sirens and angels and, you know, like really, you know, contributory energies that we can't see? What if they would like to add to what's going on in your life rather than you saying, oh my God, there's too many people in this room, and, just assuming that they're bad ghosties.
Yeah.
Okay. So really allow that energy to expand. Allow it to get about like 2 meter or 10-foot radius. Okay. Okay. And then pull the center of the radius into your body. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now get it bigger. Allow it to be 10 meters or 50 feet big. Your body's in the center. Okay. Now we'll allow it to go 10 miles out, or maybe about 14 kilometers. Okay. And turn up the energy. Like, so if it's at, 5 out of 10, turn it up to like 8 out of 10. Okay. Now turn it up more. 9, 9.5. And for those of you who dare to turn it up to a 10 out of 10, you can go ahead and do that if you dare. All right. Nice. Okay. Now make it big enough that everybody who's included in your life, who's a beneficial member of your hitchhiker team of consciousness, can actually get in there with you. And then notice them stepping in. And as they step in, notice which ones are like, wow, you just burned my skin off. Or the ones who are like, wow, this feels delicious in here. And so you can choose to uninvite them. And what if you could do that with just no computation, not like, oh, I have to include my sister, or I have to include my husband. Just be aware. You don't actually have to include anybody when you're including you. They just, get better by proxy. They can be the hitchhikers of consciousness outside your bubble if you like. Okay. Now let the bubble get bigger. Let it get bigger than the earth. Okay. And now include all of the contributory energies that already exist on the planet. Like maybe the Niagara Falls or Victoria Falls that's in Egypt. Maybe the Eiffel Tower. Maybe the Great Wall of China. Maybe Canada. And the beautiful mountains and the gorgeous rivers and valleys in Canada, and how refreshing. And what about the bears? And what about salmon? And, what about dolphins? And what about gorgeous humpback whales? Include that. Wow. And anything else that's popping into your awareness, like beautiful eagles and birds. Add that into your bubble. And then start to go out into space. Make your bubble as big as the Milky Way galaxy. Maybe you could include, like maybe the rings around Saturn get to go in your bubble. Or some of the amazing, beautiful moons out in the galaxy get to go in your bubble. Nice. So don't end this meditation. Keep this meditation with you as you open your eyes. Stay in this meditation. Okay? Now, when you find yourself, Jane, going into conclusion and computation about money, this is one of the things that you can do. Okay?
I get it. It's lovely.
Awesome. So we'll let you play with that. And
that was lovely.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for asking, Jane. And this is the Audacious Ask. And you are so invited to create something more audacious for you. One of the things that I've noticed is people are getting very confused about the next things that they need to do in their life or be or have in their life. And so I've created a resource called the Task List to Ask List. And I'm going to invite you to hop on over to podcastgoodies.jennifercramerlewis.com to download that Task List to Ask List. at podcast goodies, that's easy for me to say, jennifercramerlewis.com. And I'm going to unmute everybody to come and say hello. Yay! Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.